Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the 3 Yards in a Cloud of Dust NFL podcast. I'm your host, Josh, and with me, as always, my co-host, Jonathan.
Hi.
All right, so we got some news to get through today. This is what we're
Maybe.
after that. No, we definitely do. So we just finished up the second week of preseason. We're basically 1 week closer away from the start of the regular season.
And
I'm excited.
And both preseason weeks have been exciting.
Yeah. Plus, we have our fantasy football draft this weekend.
Oh yeah, that one.
So that's gonna be fun.
Interesting.
So we've got a few important notes that we need to get through for the past week's news. Jumping right into that, first up we have Jaguars running back Travis Etienne has suffered a I'm pronouncing this wrong, I know I am, Lisfranc injury that will most likely end his season.
Which is extremely bad for the Jaguars, for one.
And Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Because
they were counting on him to be a big compliment to Lawrence.
And since he's going to be more likely out for the season before the season even starts, that's going to hurt the team right there.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it sucks to hear about that. We know stuff like this happens all the time. People go down for the entire season every year. And it's terrible.
Yep, and
I don't exactly know what a Lisfranc injury is. I'm not too sure on it.
We'll have to look that one up.
Yeah.
But later in the week, we'll find out basically what we mean by it will hurt the Jets.
We should definitely know it by the time you guys get around to our AFC South division breakdown.
Yep.
So, next piece of news, the Raiders have released corner Rasul Douglas, among other players, as part of their second round of preseason cuts. Apparently, he whiffed on a tackle really bad in the second preseason game, and that was just the last straw, I guess. I guess he'd been underperforming all preseason.
And unfortunately, that actually is a downfall for him because...
Yeah, well, I mean, the Raiders brought him in expecting him to be a veteran presence on that in that secondary.
Yep, and with him doing something like that, it's not allowed, and this shows all the young guys, hey, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, from all the reports that I'm reading, is like this was kind of the last straw in a long line of things that he'd been doing wrong all preseason. So it was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep. So it sucks for him, but good for the Raiders so they don't have to deal with him.
Yeah. Their defense has actually been performing fairly well. They've had a couple of blown plays here and there. But, I mean, they held the Seattle Seahawks to 7 points in the first preseason game. They held the Rams to 16 points.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do against the Rams.
Yeah. So. Even with their backups, they're still high octane and moving fast.
Oh, yeah.
But they performed really well.
Which is good.
So I'm hoping that means that the first stringers are going to perform extremely well, and the Raiders are going to go 17-0.
No.
No, it's not going to happen.
We already know.
We already know, yeah. They're in the same division as Kansas City. There's no way in hell they're going 17-0.
No, they'll lose both games. Don't worry. But in other words, we have some good news though.
Yeah.
Panthers have signed wide receiver Robbie Anderson to a 2-year, $29.5 million contract with $20.5 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's good. That's good because Robbie Anderson was basically one of the lone bright spots of that offense all season last year. There were some, obviously McCaffrey was down for
a good amount of time.
Huge chunks of time last year. So, and Anderson, he stepped up and he played really well.
Oh, yeah, so he deserves that spot.
Yeah, definitely.
He deserves that contract, deserves that spot.
Yeah.
And going into now the Bills, wide receiver Cole Beasley have tested negative for COVID-19, but he will still be going through the 5-day protocol.
Right, and this was after he had been asked to leave the facility due to being in close contact with I think it was a trainer.
Yes, a trainer who tested positive.
Tested positive, yeah.
So But that's good. They'll get him
Yeah.
back pretty quickly.
And there was another player, too, that was also asked to leave because of them both being in close contact with said trainer, but they both have come back with negative tests.
Yeah, so both of them have came back negative, and they'll both come back at the exact same day, which, if I'm correct, will be Friday.
Okay.
If I am correct.
So they'll be ready to go for the regular season then.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go and ready to go before the next preseason game.
Well, that's good.
If they end up playing.
That's good. I know Cole is an important part of Josh Allen's offense, so I'm sure he's going to be glad to have him for that opening game.
Oh, definitely. Now, everyone buckle down for this one. We have Cam Newton.
Oh, God. Scam Newton, huh?
Something like that. But this has to deal with another 5-day protocol with the NFL. He's out for 5 days. He'll be coming back Thursday, but it comes from the medical staff saying and a misunderstanding of the 5-day protocol, but also doesn't help that at the beginning he didn't really say how much he has been vaccinated either. He kept that under low, so no one really knows that either.
Mm-hmm.
So that one will be really come down to when he will actually put that out.
Okay. I don't think anybody's worried about the backup not being there for game one.
Oh, no, the backup has been tremendous.
No, I'm talking about Cam Newton being the backup to Mac Jones.
Oh, I know. I know what you meant.
Yeah, because, I'm sorry, Cam Newton's time as number one quarterback is done unless Mac Jones gets hurt.
Oh, he really screws up in this next game.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
No, he's been playing extremely well.
He has. He's probably, out of all the rookie quarterbacks, he's probably played the best.
Yeah. Wilson on the has been playing decent, but
Fields has been playing well.
Yeah, Fields has been playing well,
Although
but
he got his welcome to the NFL the other day too against that game against the Bills.
Oh yeah, he got smacked.
He got knocked out.
But other hand, but that's good for Mac Jones though.
Yeah.
So he deserves that number one spot because he has been playing extremely well.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about the whole Cam Newton thing at all.
Nope.
But our next piece of news, we actually have two pieces of news coming out of Atlanta. Number one is one that we forgot to report on last week, but the Atlanta Falcons are officially the first fully vaccinated team in the NFL.
Yep, and
did we report on that?
No,
I can't remember if we did or not. If we didn't, well, we have now.
I think we didn't because it came out the next day.
Now, whether or not we reported on it last week, it deserves to be praised because they're doing the right thing.
And that's really hard to do because that means they have all, 56 players on the roster.
Well, right now, they probably still have 80-plus players on the rosters, at least 70-plus.
Yeah, so that's extremely hard to get everyone to do.
Yeah, and that means when they finally cut down to the 55 or 56-man roster, that means everybody will still be vaccinated. So
yeah, so they don't have to worry too much about doing that protocol.
Yep.
They'll probably still do it every now and then, but not as often.
Now, the other piece of news is that Falcons have signed Josh Rosen to come in and compete for the backup quarterback job.
Which is interesting because I believe they already have 3 backups right now. I believe this would be the 3rd backup.
It's something like that.
So So I think they mostly brought him in just to kind of put a fire under the other two, under the other two's butts and be like, hey, if you don't want to be here, get out.
Well, as we know, he was just released from the Niners last week.
Oh yeah. So. But for him to get a team this quickly, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's really good for him.
That means they saw something they liked. They hope that maybe he can work out for them.
Yep.
And who knows, like I was talking to you about earlier, maybe he can develop while he's down in Atlanta. And our next piece of news, Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is currently among 5 players and coaches currently undergoing COVID-19 protocols.
Yep, and that's one of the 3 players and those 2 coaching staffs. So within that, unfortunately, this is a downfall for the Cowboys because now they're down 3 players and 2 of the coaching staffs.
Do they still have to quarantine for 2 weeks?
Yes.
Oh.
So they're out for 2 weeks. So they'll they don't have any of those 5 players or coaches, and they have to also. I'm drawing a blank.
There's the 5-day return protocol afterwards,
Yes,
where they have to test negative each of the 5 days before they can come back.
Correct.
So that means they're losing them for at least the first week of the season.
Oh yeah, first 2 weeks.
Ugh, that's terrible.
Because I believe this one of the first 2 weeks is a Thursday game.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, I get it's people's choice, but come on, man, we got to take this more seriously.
Yeah. But it is what it is. And all this also took place after the coach staff went into virtual meetings again.
Ugh.
So, Lily,
So there's really no telling how far it's actually spread yet. So
Nope.
we could have more cases cropping up here in the next couple of days.
Yep.
Lovely. Okay.
So we'll find out.
All right.
And now for our last piece of news, we have the Colts quarterback Carson Wentz has returned to practice on Monday and is confident to play in the opener of the season.
That's good to hear. I mean, I know we heard from Quentin Nelson that he expected to be able to play in the season opener, but we really hadn't heard much coming from Carson Wentz's side.
Especially with that foot surgery.
Yeah, but hearing that he's already back at practice, that's really promising.
Yeah, which means because you guys are probably hearing this Wednesday, he came back Monday.
Yeah.
And so that's really good for Carson.
Yeah. Now, there weren't really any details on how much he was doing at practice. He
No.
probably wasn't doing a whole lot, because I would imagine he's not capable to completely walk on that foot yet, especially with the surgery being so recent.
Well, the surgery
It was last week. I know that for a fact. I think it was happening like last Monday or something.
I want to say it was 2 weeks ago.
I don't think it was that long ago. Because when we were reporting on it last week, it was just about to happen. Either that or it had just happened, something like that.
Yeah. But anyway.
It was pretty close.
But anyway, he's back, and he's setting up to take over week 1 of the season.
Yeah, and that's really good too, because it was expecting like 10 weeks at the maximum.
Yep.
So minimum was 5, I think.
Yeah.
So it's really good to hear that he might be able to play game 1.
Yep.
So the Colts really need him. They're going to need the Carson Wentz that basically led the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. Well, to the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I know Nick Foles took over and led them and won the Super Bowl, but it was largely Carson Wentz that led them to the playoffs in the first place.
I think Foles actually had the advantage in that one because no one really saw him play. So I think he kind of had that
But
advantage.
it wasn't like he was an unknown factor either. He
No.
had the starting job in Philly before. Of course, he had the starting job in Kansas City before Alex Smith came in.
But
Then he went back to Philly.
But no one really expected him to have to take over in the postseason either.
Right.
So no one was kind of panning that out.
Yeah.
And when he did, I think that kind of threw a lot of teams off.
Yeah, that's very true.
So.
But yeah.
But that was years ago. We don't need need that anymore.
Insane.
So, but I think that's the last little bit of news I came in from the last week.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for our news of the week. Now, stay tuned for tomorrow, though. It is the beginning of our divisional breakdown.
Oh yeah.
Something we've been wanting. It's a little bit muted than what we actually wanted to do. We wanted to go far more in depth, but obviously we didn't have the ability to. Our schedules conflicted.
It's way too much.
Yeah, and we weren't able to get as much of the research as we wanted to. But we're gonna give you something. We're gonna give you our, basically where they finished in the division last year, where they ranked offense and defense, and then where we think they're gonna end up this year.
Yeah, and remember they do have that extra game, so it's 17 games this season.
Yeah.
So please stay put for that because it will be amazing.
Yeah, but we thank everybody for joining us today. We hope you're all having a good week and you're gearing up for the opening of the regular season here in about a week and a half.
And
we're excited for it.
And a lot of fantasy football is gonna be doing their drafts this weekend too.
Yep, I know ours is.
So everyone's gonna be doing that too, who will be playing fantasy. So.
Yeah. And then our divisional breakdown you'll get an episode every day leading right up to the start of the season. So look for those. and we hope you enjoy.
Yep, and it will be fun for everybody.
Yeah. So once again, thank you for joining us today, and until the next one, we'll see you later.
Bye, guys.